apologize for that hitch. Now is our newspaper review segment with Abubakar. Abubakar, how are you doing today? How are you feeling?
I'm fine, Didi.
Yeah, more calm today, right? You know, like us, because I know Nigeria can frustrate you, but we always need to calm down. So now, we'll begin with our first paper, which is from the Daily Trust, and the front page says, over 100 people killed in Zamfara market airstrike. Abubakar, will I have that tag of Nigeria, my country? Or like, why does this keep happening? Because there's been like grief and outrage, consider the continued widespread of these airstrikes hitting civilians, and the military will tell you that they want to target terrorists and our bandits and all that, and at the end of the day, civilians keep paying for it. Why does this keep happening?
You know, thank you so much, Hadiza. You know, fighting insecurity in this country, you have to think outside the box and do it. Because I told you that fighting insecurity, especially fighting an ideological war, because those bandits, and especially Boko Haram, they have an ideology that they are fighting this war for a particular reason. So killing of 117 people, well, if truly those bandits were eliminated, I think we need to applaud our own Nigerian Air Force. It's a good one. But there is no any airstrike that will come without casualties. 117 people were killed, almost 40 were injured. They are now currently receiving treatment in the hospital. But the truth of the matter is, that particular place that Nigerian Air Force strike was tagged as one of the most dangerous area in Zamfara.
They tag every airstrike. They tag them.
Well, it's an international politics with Amnesty International, human rights organization, both locally and internationally. If you come out and say that you killed civilians and innocent people like that, the cause and the end and aspiration will be somehow. But let us hope that that airstrike actually eliminated the bandit, because even if you remember what Nasir El-Rufai said, that like the only repentant bandit is a dead one.
Is a dead one.
So killing them is a good one, if truly they are not civilian people that were killed there. And in that place, there has been a kind of like a threat is taking place. The way you can go out and buy a bottled water there, that is the way how you can go and buy arms and ammunition there. So in a governable state like Nigeria, where we have sovereignty, we have entity, we have government, we have territory, we have recognition, and there are people calling themselves as an institution, creating havoc and chaos to people. I think killing them, we need to say this is a good, this is a welcome development, as long as the place will be secured and Nigeria will continue to live in peace.
It might be a welcome development, but we know in most of these cases we have casualties, like civilian casualties. So what civilian protection can be put in place just to, okay, we need to protect these people that are vulnerable, or these people that actually have no idea of what is going on?
I recently saw an interview with the governor of Katsina State, D. Korata, saying that there was a time when they had a security meeting. After 2 hours, those people, those bandits, they already knew what was discussed in the meeting. So this is to tell you that it is within ourselves. There's an insider. Whenever you see a kind of like suspicious activity taking place in your area, quickly report to the nearest authority or relevant security people so that they can take decisive measures. If we are not going to do that, I think the continuance of this airstrike will continue to happen, because this is not the first one. It happened at Jali, if you remember, Kaduna. It happened at Yobe. It happened at Niger. It happened at Meduguri. Many places. So I think Nigerian Army, one of their strengths is striking those bandits using airstrike, because if you say that you are going to confront them, because there is a presence of landmine, and you know how they are fighting their own war. So I think it's a good one, and I pray Nigeria will continue to be in a peaceful place. And I pray there will be a time when even these bandits, they will just relinquish their arms and ammunition, even though truce and reconciliation seems not to work, because there has been a kind of like truce with them, but they seems to fail that agreement. We have seen what happened in Katsina, and we have seen what happened in Zamfara, and even some part of Meduguri.
Let's not really dwell on something like this, because it's not something good to hear, because like most times we know how the outcome is. We just need a form of accountability from the military, even if it gets to affect the civilians. Now, still moving on, we're still on the Daily Trust front page, and this is just below. It says, woman sets husband and co-wife ablaze. Abakar, what do you have to say about this? Because it's shocking and it's concerning that this tragic domestic incident happened whereby a woman set her husband ablaze and her co-wife. So logically, if you're thinking about something like this, you might think domestic violence is in play. And you know, domestic violence does not really just have to be physical. There are other forms of domestic violence.
Psychological,
emotional, neglect, jealousy, and unintended or unresolved family issues and all that. What's your take on this?
I felt very, very devastated looking at what happened at Kano on Sunday. Is really, really devastating. This to tell you that people nowadays are venturing into marriage without having the proper knowledge of what marriage is all about.
It's all about.
If you ask me, myself, Abubakar, what is marriage? Marriage is not all about sex. Marriage is a complete way of life.
It all encompasses
support, understanding, love, loyalty, commitment. In a situation whereby if you feed yourself, you are expected to feed your wife. If you buy clothes for yourself, you are expected to buy clothes for your wife. But more especially in the northern part of the country, marriage is beyond what we think. This is to tell you, how can you, in your own senses, how can you set people ablaze just because of marriage? Because she just recently got married. The husband recently added another. Well, you know, men are actually polygamous in nature.
It is acceptable in a society like that.
Yeah, so you know, culture and religion differs.
So if you want to get into this form of marriage, then you should be able to accommodate whatever comes with it.
You know, sometimes, Hadiza, your eyes cannot be everywhere. And you may be expecting that you get married to the best woman. And if she enters, especially if she comes as a second wife, that is the time when she will start showcasing all her hidden character outside. So I think the Kano State Police Command are actually under this case. Is in the process of investigation, and God so kind, alhamdulillah, they did not die. They are still alive. They are receiving the necessary treatment there. I believe this is going to be a kind of like eye opener for those people that are taking marriage for granted. And I want to call on the relevant authority to do the needful, because this is equivalent to crime. Because for you to take somebody's life is a crime, and it's enshrined in the Constitution. And I believe police will do the necessary things, and she was also sent to court. She will be prosecuted. And this is not the first time that this kind of things has been happening. We have seen a flamboyant wedding that took place here in Abuja. I don't want to mention name. While the woman went ahead and stabbed the husband in his chest with a bottle. And we have seen what happened at Bauchi. We have seen many of these things have been happening. So this is to call you. Let me make it clear to my gender. If you want to marry a girl, you have to go and make sure that she's mentally stable, psychologically stable. Is she willing to do the needful? Coexist? Or don't just go and get yourself into a pit that you will not be able to come out.
You just highlighted a question I just wanted to ask you, that should emotional and mental health counseling be a priority when it comes to a setting like this?
Of course. And that is why in Kano, there is this Hizba under the leadership of Mala Aminu Daura. He have been doing well. But you know, in a country like Nigeria and in a place like Kano, the population is beyond control. You cannot do everything. But I believe this is a wake-up call to Hizba that they should do more from the bride and even the groom. Because sometimes you can't just be selfish in blaming the other part while not blaming our own parts. Maybe she has been facing through a lot, and she felt that this is the right moment for her to strike, which she struck in the negative direction. And she's now lamenting for what she have done.
You know, when it comes to emotions, I feel most people do not have a control. They don't have power to control their reaction or what comes out from anger, and especially when it has to do with jealousy. We know how it goes.
Well, I don't want to say much on that, but I believe now what she did, she's surely going to...
There's a repercussion.
There's a repercussion.
She will pay for it, definitely.
She'll pay for it.
Moving
maybe,
on.
who knows, maybe by next week we will see her in jail.
Oh, are you praying for her to be in jail? It might be, it's a family issue, they might resolve it. Well, moving on from another headline, and this is coming from New National Star, which says Nigerian tax federal government on joblessness. Abakar. The reality still tells on the streets whereby there's hardship, there's unemployment, there's inflation and all that. And it's biting way too hard. Like it's biting deep into the skins of Nigerians. So concerns are now showing that like joblessness, inflation and all that, with all this economic growth, why is there not expansion, or why are there no rooms for job creation for people and youth?
You see, Hadiza, you can't just blame the government entirely for not providing or giving job to Nigerians. Absolutely. We have to fight indolence. Nigerian youth are actually, sorry to say, you should not misquote me.
You also could the
yeah,
former
Nigerian
president.
Youth, former president, that is late President Muhammadu Buhari. Nigerian youth are actually lazy in terms of thinking outside the box. Most people go to school just to have the certificate without having the proper knowledge. And even recently, I think... That
was why the CEO of Money Point?
Recently, I saw a book published by Pantami, Skills Rather Than Just Degrees. You go to school in order to have the knowledge. Do not depend on government.
Do something for yourself.
Sorry, don't misquote me again.
No, it's fine.
Again, some people are tagging like, if you are really waiting for government to give you a job, definitely you are putting yourself into a slavery mode of regret. There are people that are not even employed by the government, but they're doing fantastically great.
Well.
Go to school, have the proper requirement, necessary equipment, necessary knowledge. Come and venture into a business. Start your business. Start it from there.
And you should become an employer to be able to employ other people.
But most of us now, young graduates that graduated maybe in their early 20s, we are so ambitious to the extent that immediately after NYSC, I'm going to CBN. I'm going to NMPC. One of the most lucrative places in Nigeria. Why are you still thinking that way? We are now in 21st century. We are now in a digital and globalized era. Within the comfort of your zone, you can be making money.
I think...
Why are you still waiting for the government to give you the job?
An average Nigerian...
It's not bad if you ask government to give you a job, but you should not rely 100% on government job.
Actually.
You can start your online business. You can do something that will at least elevate you from your own status, from where you are to at least where you are heading to. Is good. Maybe if you have the government job, then you can do it. And you can't just come and be blaming the government for not providing the government. Venture into agriculture. Start farming.
Develop yourself.
Fish farming. Poultry production. I know someone will ask me, where's the capital? Because maybe you can raise a capital from your own personal saving or donations from your own family and relatives. Then there are a lot of grants from the government. The government of President Muhammadu Buhari have introduced anchor borrowers, NIRSAL. So these are the kind of loan that you will be able to access it. But we also have to blame the government after acknowledging the effort made by the government. Because when we say government, for a layman, he's just thinking of the government of Bola Tinubu. No, government of Nigeria as a body, as an institution. The government have been doing well, but at least they need to do more. Because Nigerians are now becoming more aware of what government is going on. We have seen the way the government is borrowing money day in, day out. So this try and at least do something that will at least
tangible to show people this is what.
If you ask me, tangible thing that we need from the government in order to establish our own business so that the cause about joblessness will go, let the government provide an enabling environment. When I say enabling environment, a crime that is at least 80% free from crime. Not even, I know there's going to be impossible for us to have 100% crime-free in our society, but at least 80%. The stability of the Naira should be stable. The exchange rate should be stable. And I believe young people will thrive. We will see a new version of Elon Musk. We'll see a new version of Aliko Dangote. We'll see a new version of Mike Adenuga. We'll see a new version of Otedola. We'll see a new version of Rano and many more.
So, are there, or what policies do you think, now let's talk about the government, because as a typical Nigerian, most of them are, you said, dependent of the government. So what policies do you think should be put in place to give avenue to create jobs for youth? Because
please, the government should stop prioritizing 2027 elections. Because if you ask most African politicians don't think beyond 4 years.
Or 8 years.
Or 8 years. It's only those people that we are lucky they will be able to serve for 8 years. Remember, we have seen former governor of Lagos State, he came into power, he only served for 4 years and he was sent out of the office. Ambodi. So at least we need to think beyond 2027 or 2031. Let us provide a blueprint. See, Hadiza, I am proud to be a Nigerian and I would die for Nigeria.
Always say that.
Like, we need to do something that people will be proud of what they are doing. Tell me, have you met Sardauna or Ahmadu Bello or Tafawa Balewa? But
no.
The legacies they left
behind
speak for them.
And it's very impactful.
If I would have the chance to speak to the President of Nigeria, I would say, Your Excellency, please, for the period of your 4 to 8 years that you would have, please take a single sector, make it 100% efficient for Nigeria. I think we will appreciate you.
Well, let's not dwell on that. Let's go to our last headline, and this is coming from The Punch, and it says,
Politics.
Political tension is rising here in the country, whereby they said 150 aspirants have been disqualified from the APC.
Well, if you ask me, and to many Nigerians, what they are of the view of this disqualification, if truly disqualification came on the basis of they were not eligible to contest, is a good one. We pray is a good one. But if it has a political reason behind that, because state governors are the most powerful set of politicians in this country. Do you know that now if a governor don't want you to contest, they can bring a mighty allegation and put in under your name?
So does it show any sign of transparency within the party? Well,
there's a transparency and there is no transparency. That is why I'm trying to give you from a general analysis to a specific analysis.
Okay.
In some places like Kano, I have seen the political tussle has been going on. Kogi State, Adamawa, I think Gombe too, and I forgot the other states. Many of their aspirants, Rivers State, many of their aspirants were disqualified. They were disqualified on the basis of consensus. They wanted this person to go, while some people behind the scenes, especially allegedly from Rivers, because I recently saw that like Fubara even defected from the APC. There was a speculation that he's going to defect to the new political party NDC. This is to tell you there have been a political rigmarole between him and his boss, previous boss. You know, the politics between successor and predecessor in this country
right now, at the present moment, it is something entirely different.
It's different.
So do you think this rift that is happening right now in the APC will have an effect in the upcoming 2027 general
Definitely
election?
it will. It will. Maybe, who knows? Maybe those people that were that were disqualified, because you cannot underestimate the power of a politician, especially with the way the political space in Nigeria is being monetized. Money can do everything. Money can influence votes. Tell me now, people were disqualified, and they may likely mobilize their followers to go against the ruling party.
The aggrieved members.
The aggrieved members, and I'm aggrieved. You are aggrieved, he's aggrieved, she's aggrieved. There is unity in strength, and there is strength in unity. Stop thinking maybe the ruling party have the backing of the power, maybe they are in the power, they have the apparatus to do everything. Goodluck Jonathan was president in 2015, but he conceived defeat. Are you trying to tell me that if Goodluck Jonathan won, he can use the power that he has as a president in order to rig the election?
So that, now, are we trying to say like integrity will always speak for you?
Will always speak, and there is unity, there is strength in unity, as I tell you. We have seen how Nigerians came unanimously in 2014, 2015. They sent the government of the PDP out of power. And it's still possible, 2027, if Nigerians can unite under one umbrella that they are calling change, I believe they can do something very, very tangible.
But I don't think for the APC right now, with the plenty of protest and shouting of unfairness and all that, does this disqualification, will I say, is it neutral or it's...
I believe some disqualification were neutral, and I believe some disqualification have a political reason behind that. For example, in Kano, why would you bring somebody that has been the former governor, Mal Ibrahim Shekarau, to come and at least tell him that he's not going to be the person, a flag bearer of APC, while there are young politicians that have been loyal to that political party for over how many years, and you are telling them now to step down? This is a political reason. Let everybody that have scorecard speak for himself. There will be a time, I'm praying, there will be a time when this country, our own political socialization will be a time when people will not vote for you based on what you have. They will vote for you based on your own blueprint. What have you done?
Well spoken, Abubakar. I think we just have to hang the boots on our newspaper review today. That's it on today's edition of our newspaper review. Coming up next is our S24 report, coming after the break. Love, laughter, and heartfelt prayers filled the atmosphere in Abuja as family members, friends, and well-wishers gathered to celebrate the union of Sams and Maureen in a colorful wedding ceremony marked by joy and emotional moments. The event brought together loved ones from different walks of life, all united to witness the beginning of a new chapter for the couple. For the groom, Sams, the day was more than just a wedding celebration. It was the fulfillment of years of prayers and hope for a life partner he had always dreamed of.
Today is like the most happiest day of my life. It's not like it's the most happiest day of my life. Like I've been waiting for this day to come all my life. And then thank God that I got married to the woman that I love. Very beautiful, intelligent woman. A woman that has always pushed me to achieve a lot of things. So I think I thank God so much for having her as my wife.
The bride, Maureen, also expressed gratitude to God while committing their union into his hands, praying for love, peace, and lasting understanding in their marriage journey.
Waited for this day and it's here. And I just want to give God the glory for the journey thus far. He has been the one sustaining us from the beginning. So I just want to return all glory to God. I like what to say. That's why I said from the beginning that I'm actually speechless. But I just want to say thank you, Lord, for seeing us through this journey.
Beyond the glamour and celebration, friends and well-wishers offered words of wisdom and encouragement to the newlyweds, emphasizing patience, communication, and friendship as the foundation of a successful marriage.
This particular word of advice is something that we've always got from our forefathers, our forebears. One is patience, and then the second thing is understanding. I think with these two, you can cross any river, you can climb every mountain in marriage.
I pray that they feel the true essence of togetherness, the true essence of forever, what it means, the better part, and they get to experience one another truthfully as a couple.
Mr. Sems's wedding, and and also his birthday. So it was wonderful to be here, and his beautiful bride Maureen. And I think again, I just felt exactly the same vibe that I felt before, which is everybody here supporting family, supporting an institution that, you know, for some people maybe don't treat as seriously as it used to be. But at the end of the day, I think it's a wonderful ceremony, and it's good to be here supporting.
Engineer Sims is really an amazing person, and what we've witnessed today at this wedding is that love conquers everything. But not just love, it means there is need for work, communication, understanding, and for them to surmount all of their challenges and still be able to come in the open to tell people, oh, with all the challenges we're here today, it's really a beautiful thing. And from all indications, it seems they are really united in purpose and united for their love.
As music filled the air and celebration continued late into the day, the wedding of Sims and Maureen became more than just an event. It stood as a reminder of love, commitment, and the enduring power of family and friendship. For the couple, today marks the beginning of forever, surrounded by prayers, support, and the hope of a beautiful future together. From Abuja, Nigeria, I am Hadiza Galadima for S24.
And welcome back from that break. This is Political Arena on S24 television. I am Abubakar Turaki. Despite numerous government programs and reforms, many policies in Nigeria continue to fall short of expectation, from insecurity and unemployment to education, healthcare, and economic development. Citizens often question why design policies fail to produce meaningful results. Factors such as poor implementation, corruption, lack of opportunity, weak institutions, political interference, and inadequate public engagement have continued to undermine policies' success. These decisions seek to examine the major reason behind policy failure in Nigeria and explore possible solutions for effective governance and national development in our dear country, Nigeria. This afternoon, I am joined by a public analyst, Mohammed Adamu, to help us understand why policies in Nigeria failed. Mohammed, welcome to Political Arena on S24 television.
Thank you so much. I'm very honored to be here. Thank you.
So, Mohammed, as a public analyst that have experience in leadership, especially student unionism, why do you think that some beautiful policies in Nigeria fail? Is it that there is not political will or the actualization of the policies? Well, that is where the problem lies.
Okay, let me start by thanking you for having me here. My name is Comrade Mohammed Adamu. And just like you said, why do policies fail in Nigeria? You see, before looking at every other reason that makes policy fail, first of all, policies are like a drive, like a solution that the government makes in order to find lasting solution to
a particular problem,
or to the issue that is affecting the citizens or the people. You see, one of the most underrated and important thing that makes policy fail, and in fact, that's the root cause of the other reasons like corruption and implementation and weak institution. The main root cause for me, I would say, is the gap and the growing gap between two very important stakeholders. And that stakeholders is the government, which is the designer of the policy, and the demographic youth of the country, which are the beneficiary of that particular policy. There is a very big gap between those two. And you see, this gap now creates a lot of vacuum, room for corruption, room for implementation problem, room for weak institution, and most especially room for lack of accountability. This gap now, the government doesn't know necessarily what the people really need. The people doesn't know necessarily what the government is doing for them. So this gap now creates room for, let me pick corruption for an example. If the government is doing a policy that is targeted to address a particular issue in the country, but mind you, policy, the life of a policy, it's if it is being implemented and it has a positive impact in the life of Nigerian, especially Nigerian citizens.
Going down to my next question.
Okay.
Political instability.
Okay.
We have seen beautiful policies, Vision 2015, Vision 2020, Vision 2030, but how do you think like political instability led to the failure of that policies?
You see, one of the biggest political instability that leads to numerous failures of very well-designed policies are lack of continuity. You see, there is no continuity in policies. And in fact, Nigeria doesn't even practice long-term policy plan. Every government is coming to do short-term, 4 years or 8 years. And they want to design a policy that will benefit them. And their policy are designed for political benefits.
What do you mean by that?
Because every administration will come and give a policy that will benefit them. And a normal politician, he's just focused on how to return to office, how to contest. So they are not mainly concerned about the people. If a policy is designed for a long-term, let me give you a cheated. In fact, after when Shehu Shagari took over, the policy was abandoned. It was later renamed and it was abandoned. Why? Because there is no continuity in government. And this is the reason why political instability affects policy in Nigeria, lack of continuity. If this government come and do a particular policy, if another administration should come, they will feel like, why would they continue a policy that they did not bring? Remember, we have multi-party system in Nigeria. All those things too are part of the factors. If APC is in government today and maybe they lose the government and PDP take over or another political party come in power, you find out that majority of the policies that have been initiated by the APC, then when they are in power, most of those policies will be abandoned. So this is the problem
let's
that we
go
face.
to international.
Okay.
For example, we have seen when Joe Biden was the president of America.
Okay.
And you know, they have that national interest and policy, America first.
Okay.
But when Trump started diverting from that American policy, they changed him. So what do you think, like, how can our leaders learn from other countries in ensuring policy continuity? Because whether you are from a Democrat or Republican, the national interest of America and the foreign policy of America, it will be the one to pursue it no matter what, no matter whether you're from the Republican or the Democrat. So what do you think, how do you think our leaders will copy and learn from other countries?
You see, one of the problems of Nigeria is that we have many diverse groups, many ethnicity, many religion, many tribes.
Don't you think that is a blessing to us?
It is a blessing and it's also a factor that divides us. These are the things that are meant to unite us, but the politicians use these factors to divide us and rule us. And you know, it is only when you have a united nation that all of these things you are saying can work out. The Democratic and the Republican that you are talking about, in America, they don't have a system whereby they are divided by culture or by religion or by tribe. They believe in one America.
America first.
America first. They are patriotic to their country. In fact, any policy that they are making, the citizens have ownership of, they feel ownership of that policy because they are being carried along. And remember, in policy formation, right from the planning process, you have to involve the two stakeholders that I mentioned. And this is the problem of Nigeria. There is a very big gap between the beneficiary and the designer.
Disconnection.
There is a very big disconnection. And this disconnection is what brings room for other factors like corruption. Because when there is a vacuum, you don't know what the government is doing for you, so you cannot hold them accountable. And the government knows that whatever that they are doing, in fact, most of this government use policy as a tool, as a medium to embezzle or to loot money.
You have championed Vision 2050.
Yes.
Don't you think that your own policy there is just like other policies?
Well, Vision 2050, I would say it's not a policy. Like, it's not a policy on its own. It's a movement that is targeted to hold on its own. It's a movement that is targeted to hold on to implementation of policies. For example, there is a Nigeria Agenda 2050 that has been initiated March 2026 by the Ministry of Planning. So that particular initiative, Vision 2050, is just there to
hold them accountable.
Yes, to work as the implementation of that policy. We want to serve as the people a watchdog or a bridge that will bridge that gap between the people that are meant to benefit from that particular policy and the main initiator of that policy. Most of the initiatives that they are doing, imagine, most of them are even done here in Abuja. There are a lot of policies that are meant to be targeted.
People are not feeling it.
No, they don't even know about it. So this is what Vision 2050 is coming to do. We have a structure that touch across all the 36 states in Nigeria and under the Organization of Future Leaders Youth Initiative. Now we are using our structure to tap from every opportunity, resources or whatever government have for the youth. We are going to use our structure to make sure that it's reached to doorstep of every Nigerian youth. And this is why I say it's not a policy, it's a room for implementation of Nigerian policies.
Well, it's a pleasure speaking to you here in S24 television. So before we relinquish, ahead of 2027, what are your goals to Nigerians? Precisely those that are showing the lack of interest, especially in the political process.
Well, my call for Nigeria is, especially the youth, is that the youth should rally around not just creating support group to support a politician. If you know how many number of support group a particular politician have, you will know that the nature of these politics has changed. Everybody is just going there to enrich themselves, not for development's sake. My advice for Nigerian youth is that as they are creating that support group for a politician, they should also create a group to make sure that the manifestation and the vision of what that politician wants to do for them, they are going to use that group to make sure that it is being implemented. Even if it's 100 youths per politician. You can imagine how many support group each politician have. If they can be empowering 100 youths per unit or per local government or per constituency, before 2050, the whole political landscape is going to be ours, we the youth. So how are we working towards making that easy for us?
Thank you so much for speaking with us here on S24.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And that is all what we have here on S24 Political Arena. Stay tuned for our S24 documentary.
Thank you.
In Kokodi, a busy district of Abidjan, basketball is more than a game. It is a language of discipline, identity, and hope for young women learning to navigate life beyond the court. At the center of this movement is Patricia Lorongnon, a former international basketball player who now dedicates her life to shaping the next generation of girls through sport. For her, basketball is not just training, it is education, dialogue, and social awareness.
Dans les camps, on arrive à débattre sur des faits de société, par exemple l'hygiène, la sexualité.
In the camps, we are able to discuss social issues such as hygiene, sexuality in school and sport environments, abortion, and others. There are also coaching trainings and referee trainings, meaning different professions within sports. These camps allow young girls to see sports differently, especially basketball.
En particulier, puisque nous, c'est le basket autrement.
On this court, training goes beyond physical performance. It becomes a space where young women learn to think, speak, and imagine futures that once felt out of reach. Every shot taken here carries more than points. It carries possibility.
À travers ces jeunes filles, je vois.
Through these young girls, I see the influence of Ivorian basketball, African basketball, and women basketball worldwide, because it is about the cause of women. It is wonderful to see them, to guide them, to train them, and to give them advice both in sports and in social life.
C'est plaisant d'être à côté de ces jeunes filles.
Patricia's journey as a former player now lives on through those she trains. Her legacy is not in trophies alone, but in the confidence she builds in others. She sees herself reflected in every dribble, every sprint, every young athlete refusing to give up.
On a beaucoup de jeunes filles qui viennent maintenant.
Today we have many girls coming, but before it was difficult. It was difficult because there were cultural barriers and social barriers. When we talk about young girls, we understand what that means. Some have to take care of the household before coming to train.
Others hide because they have to wear shorts or sports equipment. In general, sports equipment is not always adapted to their religion, so there were many small obstacles.
Donc, il y avait pas mal de petites choses.
For players like Habiba Shangari, Patricia is more than a coach. She is a symbol of what is possible. In Patricia's story, Habiba sees her own future and responsibility to continue the journey.
Elle est l'une des rares femmes qui a vraiment évolué.
She is one of the few women who truly played basketball in Côte d'Ivoire and continued even after she stopped playing. She continued through her actions and her presence, especially within the national championship. She's an example, a great example. It is an honor for me to be part of her close circle. To be like her means continuing the work she started and passing it on to the future generations.
Et pourquoi pas transmettre.
But the road to the court is not simple. For many girls, sport competes with cultural expectations, household duties, and limited resources. Some girls arrive late after household chores. Others struggle with uniforms that conflict with social or religious expectations. Beyond social barriers lies another challenge: resources. Without infrastructure, talent risks going unseen and dreams risk fading before they begin. Yet, despite these challenges, something powerful is growing here. It is not just a basketball program, it is a community of resilience.
Si on veut réussir, il faut vraiment encourager.
If you want to succeed, we must really encourage this. If you want to succeed, we must really encourage this type of activity so that girls can get into sport, because it is difficult, very difficult. When you assess the situation in Abidjan, especially in Cocody, there are no resources, there are no shoes, no balls, no courts. If we can organize and support this type of activity, I believe more girls will become interested in basketball.
On this court in Cocody, basketball becomes more than sport. It becomes education, resistance, and identity. For these young women, every bounce of the ball is a step forward, not just in basketball, but in life.
Good afternoon and thank you for staying with us. I am Sidika Yusuf, presenting the latest occurrences in technology and in the digital world today. Firstly, Google has unveiled Gemini Intelligence, a suite of Gemini AI features that brings agent-style automation to Android by performing multi-step tasks across apps and the web. Initially beta on Pixel 1010 Pro and Samsung Galaxy S26 devices, letting users automate workflows like building grocery carts from notes, ordering rides of food, and filing complex forms via opt-in autofill while showing live progress and requiring final confirmation. Google says Gemini calls app exposed actions through app functions and developer APIs, reducing brittle UI scripting, and uses on-device NPUs for lower latency and greater privacy on premium phones. With visual context and auto-browse extending capability to interpret screen content and perform web tasks. The key metrics to watch tag success rates are latency, that is on-device versus cloud, app functions adoption, and user opt-in rate. All have not yet been published. And privacy, consent, and enforcement of the virtual execution environment remain important concerns as rollout expands. Also, the federal government's 3 million Technical Talent 3 MTT program has partnered with Hello.cv in a $10 million plus activation to boost the global visibility of Nigerian tech workers, providing about 20,000 fellows with premium Hello.cv profile packages valued at roughly $500 each, including personal.cv domain, and AI job search agents and professional CV writing services. The rollout centers on a global profile week, sprints to onboard and optimize profiles, with top performers receiving premium access, recruiter spotlights, and one-on-one career reviews. The initiative aims to move beneficiaries from training into marketable, discoverable talent for global employers. but its success will hinge on measurable outcomes like interviews, hires, geographic distribution of opportunities, and income improvements, which the announcement did not yet publish. Ensuring equitable access across Nigeria's states and addressing digital literacy and connectivity gaps will be critical to converting profile visibility. And lastly, the LG Electronics has launched its X-Boom speakers and premium soundbars in Nigeria, aiming to meet growing demand for high-quality and smart audio solutions. The announcement, made on Tuesday, highlights LG's strategy to expand its footprint in Nigeria's fast-growing home entertainment market, driven by a youthful population, urbanization, and increasing interest in streaming music and sports. The company said the new products are designed to deliver enhanced sound clarity, durability, and smart features that align with evolving consumer preferences. And we bring today's tech update to a halt here. Do stay smart, live smart, and enjoy the rest of your day today.
Hello and welcome back from the break. This is your entertainment update for today. I'm Khadija Muhammad, and as always, I'm always bringing the best updates. But today we begin on a heartbreaking note. The Nigerian film industry is in mourning following the death of actor Alex Ikubo at age 40. The star, born in Port Harcourt in 1986, rose fame as first runner-up in the 2010 Mr. Nigerian pageant before becoming a leading man in hits like Omogeto, The Saga, and The Blink Lagosians. Colleagues, including Actors Guild director Boma Akpore, confirmed his passing from cancer complication. Tribute have flooded in from industry heavyweights, with Peter Okoye posted a simple RIP, while Rita Dominic and Funke Akindele shared heartfelt messages celebrating his humility and joy. And from a moment of loss to a story of determination and national pride, a young northern Nigerian, Saidu Abdurrahman, is preparing to break the Guinness World Record for most selfies taken in 3 minutes, currently held by Bollywood star Akshay Kumar at 184 selfies. Saidu has vowed to snap 200 selfies within the same time frame and bring the title home to Nigeria. The attempt, approved by Guinness World Record, will take place here in Abuja and aims to showcase the talent and potential of northern Nigerian youth on the global stage. And on a popular fashion designer, Vicky James has announced her new baby girl named Eliana Adefe Atere. The excited couple announced the arrival of their daughter in a video shared on Instagram on Wednesday, 2026, sharing the meaning behind the child's name. The couple explained that El means God, while Anna means he has answered. Today, signifying my God has answered. The couple revealed that baby Eliana was born on May 2nd, 2026. And speaking of global stages, Hollywood is turning up the action once again. The international entertainment scene Paramount Pictures has released the final trailer for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. For theatrical release on May 23rd, 2026, Tom Cruise returned as Ethan Hunt for what is being billed as the epic conclusion to the decades-running franchise. Early reaction from CinemaCon suggests the film delivers the series' most ambitious stunt yet, with Cruise reportedly performing a record-breaking 12 halo jumps for the role. And now, away from blockbuster films and into the timeless African fashion. Beyond the headlines, a timeless fashion statement continues to make waves, which is the African head wrap known as Gele in Yoruba, Duku in Ghana, and many names across the continent is modern fabric. Historically worn by women as a symbol of marital status, wealth, and social standing, today's head wraps have evolved into bold fashion staples seen on red carpet from Lagos to Los Angeles. Celebrities like Lupita and Burna Boy stylists have reimagined the wrap for modern audiences, blending tradition with contemporary flair. Whether tied for ceremony or street style, the African head wrap remains a powerful expression of cultural pride and identity. And that wrap up entertainment update for today, from stories that touch our hearts to inspiring achievements, blockbuster moments, and the beauty of African culture. entertainment continues to remind us while storytelling always matters. Thank you for staying with us, and coming up next is Sport News with Martha after the break.
Good day, sports fans, and welcome to your sports update. From the road to the Premier League to major developments in basketball and cycling, we've got all the latest stories lined up for you. Let's begin in England, where Hull City and Southampton are now just one match away from gaining promotion to the English Premier League. Southampton secured their place in the Championship Player Final after defeating Middlesbrough 2-1 in a dramatic extra-time match. Middlesbrough scored first early in the match, but Southampton fought back through Rose Stewart before Shea Charles scored the winning goal late in extra time to send the Saints to Wembley Stadium. Hull City also booked their place in the final after a comfortable 2-0 victory over Millwall. Now, both clubs will meet at Wembley in what is often referred to as the richest game in football because the winner aims promotion to the Premier League and the huge financial rewards that comes with it. From England to Germany, Bayern Munich goalkeeper Manuel Neuer has reportedly agreed a new contract extension with the club. The 40-year-old German captain is said to have accepted a reduced salary in order to remain with the Bundesliga champions. Neuer has been with Bayern since 2011 and remains one of the most successful goalkeepers in football history, winning several league titles and the UEFA Champions League with the club. Still on international sports, sad news for the basketball world, who is mourning the death of former NBA player Jason Collins, who has passed away at the age of 47 following a battle with brain cancer. Collins made history in 2013 when he became the first openly gay active player in the NBA and a major American professional sports. During his 13-year career, he played for several NBA teams, including the New Jersey Nets, Boston Celtics, and Atlanta Hawks. Tributes have continued to pour in from across the sports world, with many describing him as a courageous figure whose impact went beyond basketball. And finally, to cycling, good news for Team Nigeria, who is enjoying an impressive outing at the 2026 African Cycling Championships taking place in Abuja. Nigeria currently tops the medals table with 16 medals, including 9 gold medals after strong performances from the country's cyclists. The championship, holding at the Mushid Abiola National Stadium Velodrome, has attracted athletes from across Africa, but Nigerian riders have continued to dominate in front of home supporters. Egypt and Kenya remain among Nigeria's closest challengers as the competition continues. That's all we have for you today in the world of sports. Keep enjoying the games, the moments, and the passion of sports. Up next is PG News after the break.
My people, you now welcome to our Bonge Tori segment. Matter don hot again for the world. Big leaders don't gather to yarn serious issue where they shake economy and politics for around the world. My name is Gladys Asuko. We could begin to break the matter down for you now. We go start with the NDC. We don't fix 60 million naira for presidential form as they prepare for the upcoming election. Everything they correct and they must follow party rules well. But people they say the money too high. If you push young contestants come up for the race, constantly cause fresh busy about how money take the control politics for Nigeria. For another issue where the Apple Shimele don't want Senate President Apabio, meaning they rush bills without proper reading and checking. It talks say if they rush, the matter will cause plenty confusion for the Constitution. If see add say lawmakers moderation for the Constitution. If see add say lawmakers must read, check, and understand bills well before they pass them. Some senators still can't join out to come support and say they need more transparency for the method. The matter still show say serious concern there about how National Assembly they make their laws. For IPAD, they don't raise another alarm over Electoral Act 2026, especially the part where they remove indirect primaries, constantly reduce how they take send election results online. Them talk say if it spoil transparency and it go make people no trust election again. Then they beg National Assembly and INEC may they review them and they press electronic transmission of results. They're very important for free and fair election. They want to say if they don't settle this matter, so if it cause political tension, as election self don't they near. For another matter where they happen for federal government, so they don't remove UTME requirements for colleges of education. And this one don't change how admission they run nationwide. They announced the new policy now to bring more students enter teaching profession, constantly figure for teachers for the country. Now for Obodo Igbo matter, President Donald Trump don't meet China President Xi for benching as Iran matter war still they cause global wahala and